okay, if you took my advice, as you should, you'd probably be living somewhere in the Termini area, and this would probably be your view in the morning. So you might as well have some coffee and go and explore the church. It was originally built in the 5th century AD, and then it was reconstructed several times. The bell tower was added in the 14th century. From this point on, we continue on through the Viminal Hill. It contains a couple of interesting things, including the Termini station, also the Opera House, and look at the shit, I don't want to talk about this. This is nonsense, okay? And the repertoire is worse. Okay, so we just continue on. And suddenly we see this place. There's an architectural committee in Rome, I'm sure, just like in any other city. Why do we keep building this nonsense? In the middle of something beautiful, why? I understand about the bribes and the kickbacks, but why this? We're gonna reach Via Nazionale, which is Rome's other answer to Fifth Avenue and Champs-Élysées. We end up here, as usual, Piazza Venezia. If we go around the palace, in the back of the palace there's another piazza. It was designed by Michelangelo. We ascend these steps, and if we peek over our shoulder, there's a nice view of the Marcellus Theater. Oops, what is this? Okay, this would be Rienzi, a historical character, and Wagner wrote an opera based on certain portions of his career. Oops, wrong opera. This square is called Piazza del Campidoglio.
Campidoglio.
Come again?
Campidoglio.
What she said. If you proceed towards the back of it, there's a little terrace there from which you can see a lot of Rome. And we continue leisurely on. This would be Hadrian's temple. It was built by his successor in honor of Hadrian. This column was built by Marcus Aurelius, who must have been jealous of Emperor Trajan, and the entire neighborhood is named after it. speaking of politicians who have a vocation on the side, Thomas Jefferson was in fact an architect. He was mostly self-taught. When people talk about his influences, the two names are usually mentioned, and that's Andrea Palladio, an Italian Renaissance architect who built this, and also James Gibbs, a British architect who built this and this. However, if you take a quick look at Jefferson's most famous creation, the Rotunda in Monticello, a third name comes to mind. This was built by Emperor Hadrian, and the similarities are quite obvious. And the reason we're talking about this is because we are in the neighborhood again. Yeah, there's like a rock concert taking place in front of the Pantheon. Romans and tourists seem to be very fond of rock music performed by elderly people. Okay, you know and I know that we're gonna eventually end up at Campo di Fiori, which is loosely translated would be the field of flowers. We're gonna have like lunch, late lunch there. This is the statue of Giordano Bruno. Now we have an evening to ourselves. Let's use this evening to make that one fateful trip to the outskirts, because we've got to see that church, the main church of Rome, the seat of the Bishop of Rome, also known as the Pope. The church is situated right inside the Aurelian Wall. It is called the Archbasilica of St. John Lateran, Archbasilica Papale di San Giovanni. In Laterano, there's a metro station of the same name, San Giovanni, and that's the remains of a monastery. This is what it looks like in the daytime. And just to give you an idea of the scale of the Aurelian walls, you see the lady with the umbrella? Here we go.